Hi everyone, Amanda here with an update on how my second trimester went. I am finally in the third trimester. Time is flying by in this pregnancy. Probably because because I know it's going to be our last baby. So I feel like once you know that, time just soars. No matter how much you'd like it to slow down a little so you can savor the little things, but you just got to do the best you can, I guess. Well, anyway, in this video, I'm going to share with you all about things like nausea, um, my anatomy scan, certain critical blood tests that I had done, other symptoms I have, and 2 different trips I had to take to the ER. So stick around and be sure to subscribe. All right, so the second trimester extends from usually week 13 through week 20, like the end of week 26. And if I can think back, I want to say my nausea disappeared right around the week 16 mark. It stuck around for a few weeks after I was already in the second trimester, and I kept thinking, gosh, everybody says this nausea is going to go away once you hit your second trimester, and like it was sticking around for a while for me. So several weeks into my second trimester, it finally went away, and I was ever so grateful for it. I had had enough of it by then. And then also around that 16-week mark was the first time that I felt this baby kick, and so it was very sweet. I wish at that point my husband would have been able to feel it, but the kicks have to become stronger to be felt from the outside. So yeah, he had to wait for a little while. But he was able to finally feel the baby kick around the 25-week mark. So that was pretty exciting. So around the 20-week mark, I got my anatomy scan, and it was horrible. Like, you look back and you think, oh, all you think about is really the pictures and the scans that you have done, and the beautiful time you spend watching your baby move on the monitor while they're doing all of the measurements and stuff like that. But all I will remember for this one is how uncomfortable I was. Oh my gosh. I had a new technician, I think, and I don't know, like, she wasn't very efficient. I felt like, so the baby was in one position, and she would get one measurement, and then, she would talk about how, oh, I can't get these other measurements until the baby moves. So anyway, it just wasn't as efficient as it could have been. And generally, like, I don't know how many anatomy scans you guys have been through, but I've had one before, and I think like the longest it was an hour. This one ended up being over 2 hours. Like, and then at the end of it, she even had to call in another person to help get her measurements on parts of the baby that she just couldn't get or something. I don't know. Like, I'll give her a slight benefit of the doubt. The baby was doing barrel rolls like in the middle of the measurements, and so like I kind of feel bad, but over 2 hours, I feel like it couldn't have all just been the baby. So yeah. But anyway, I wanted to share with you guys some of the photos from that anatomy scan, despite it being extremely uncomfortable because I was laying on my back on this really hard like table. My lower back was just aching. And yeah, despite all of that, the photos I will have as memories will at least give me something to look back on in a positive way for that experience. So here they are, and I hope you guys, enjoy them. We are taking gender guesses, so if you have a guess for what you think it is, leave it in the comment section down below, and I will be doing a gender reveal video in just a little while, not very long yet. So yep, pretty cute, huh? Another thing with that anatomy scan was at the end of it, we got to get a heartbeat there, and it was very awesome. We got to record it. I'm not going to share with you the actual bear because it's the color of the baby's gender, and so I want to keep that a secret until we're planning to reveal it. but I will share the heartbeat with you guys. I just love listening to that. Oh my gosh, I just love it. It's the best. It is the best hearing that little baby heartbeat. All right, so the next thing is that I got a blood test. I had a quad screen blood test done during my second trimester, and it tests for neural tube defects, Down syndrome, and some of the trisomy disorders that babies can have. And luckily those results came back negative or very low risk for the baby having any of those issues, and so I'm very thankful for that. Next, I want to talk with you guys about some of the anxiety that I've been feeling most of the way through my second trimester, even still up, into this kind of stage where I'm in the third trimester now. I've just began the third trimester, and so it's still a little bit going on, but I've been wanting to kind of discuss that with you guys. So one of the things that I'm pretty anxious about is that when I went to talk to some of the people at the hospital that I plan to deliver at, they have COVID restrictions going on right now where I won't be able to bring my daughter into the labor room. They apparently, if it wasn't COVID, that was something that they would have allowed. They would have allowed my daughter to come and be with us while I labor, the other baby into the world. And so they basically told me I had to find somebody to watch my little girl, or my husband would have to do it, and then I would have to labor alone. And the thought of laboring alone, I know that I've heard some people have had to actually do that because they wouldn't even have allowed husbands in, and that breaks my heart for those people. I don't want to do this alone. And so I've been extremely anxious about that for most of the second trimester and up until recently. I didn't have a plan. I don't know if you know, but we're a military family, and we live pretty rurally, and we have family, our nearest family is an 8-hour drive away, and if I were to go into labor at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I have no friends here, COVID has not allowed me to branch out and have a social life since we've gotten to this base, and so I don't have a support system here. And so I've been very worried about who's going to watch my little girl at the drop of a hat if I go into labor at 3:47 in the morning. What am I going to do if that happens? And so I've been very, very stressed about that, and I still don't have an answer. So I'm quite nervous about all of that. I've got to figure something out. I'm planning to reach out at my OB appointment coming up about what what services they may have for military wives or families to reach out to if there is anything. So keep your fingers crossed for me that maybe they have some ideas on childcare, that maybe there's a person that's willing to watch my kid at the drop of a hat at 3 in the morning, So anyway, I'm very anxious about that right now. And so that's kind of my top priority as far as how to alleviate this anxiety. Is I need to figure out a plan for that, as soon as possible. So and the reason why I need it to happen as soon as possible, well, for one, anxiety is not very good during pregnancy, but beside that is I went into preterm labor with my first pregnancy. And so if that were to happen again, I was also hospitalized for 3 weeks with that first pregnancy. And I don't know, I'm hoping that won't happen again. There's nothing that says that if you had it one time, you're going to have it the next time. We don't know what's going to happen, and so that's it's anxiety inducing for me, really. But I have broken down crying like several times about this. And so, yeah, anxiety is real. It's real with this pregnancy. I didn't have to worry about this with my first because we didn't have a baby to worry about at that point. And now I need to have my husband, with me while I labor and have my kid in a safe place while that happens. And so, yeah. Because of that preterm labor that I had with my first pregnancy, it's very important for me now to get my hospital bag ready a lot earlier. I am now in my third trimester, so very soon I'm hoping to make a hospital bag video on things I'm doing to prepare, things I'm gathering together to prepare for the baby, and possibly some other videos on just general things I'm doing to prepare for baby, because I want to do it sooner than would be normal for other people. The anxiety of what could happen because it happened in the first pregnancy is a little bit heightened for me. So the sooner I can have these things ready, I think the less I'll be anxious about it. So keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. Now I'd like to talk about symptoms and cravings with you guys. I didn't have a ton of symptoms other than my nausea that went away in the earlier parts of the second trimester. I don't know if it's, one big thing that I do know is that I'm not sure if it's my location or if it's being pregnant or what, but I have had the most dry skin. Like, I will be applying lotion 6 or 7 times a day, liberally applying lotion, and I'm still itchy. Like, I just want to itch my arms, itch my back. Like, it's insane. And lotion is like, I might as well bathe in it at this point because I'm applying it so much. And it's very exasperating, honestly, being so itchy all the time and being like battling with lotion, something that says blatantly on it that it should be moisturizing my skin, is just not. So I'm not sure if it's the climate that I'm in. I'm in rural Alaska. It's the middle of winter right now. It's dry. Yeah, so that's one big thing I can remember about my second trimester, and still ongoing into my third now. One normal symptom that, everyone will tell you about is there's lots of peeing. As baby's growing, there's more pressure on your bladder, and yeah, that's just the normal side effect. I haven't had any actual cravings for like weird foods, like, peanut butter and pickles or something weird like that. I can say that I'm obsessed with like icy water, like water that actually has ice in it that I can chew on. I love that. It's so soothing to me to have that super cold water. And another thing is not really a food item at all, but it's sort of a craving I have with my clothing. Lately, all I've wanted to wear are leggings, like loose, or not loose, but they're not tight on my skin. Jeans are, they don't have a lot of give to them, so I've been avoiding jeans. I've been, just as baby's getting bigger, there's more and more pressure, and leggings have been the most comforting thing for me in this trimester. So yeah, leggings I kind of have grouped into that craving category because that's what I want. Next, I would like to talk about the 2 different ER visits that I had during my second trimester. I think those nurses probably thought I was a hypochondriac because my first ER visit was, I was up all night long, and I had really, really lower left-sided back pain. And I thought it was kidney. And like, of course, we all consult Dr. Google. And, it was talking about, well, if you're pregnant and you're having kidney pain, that's something you really need to bring up to your doctor. And so, because they said it could be, I could have an infection, I could have like a urinary tract infection or a kidney infection, or, other things could be going on. I could have like a kidney stone or something. And anyway, so Dr. Google kind of convinced me that I really needed to get it checked out because it had kept me up all night. I was in such pain that I couldn't sleep through it. I had taken Tylenol, and when you're pregnant, it's just, I'm very cautious about anything I take while I'm pregnant. And so even Tylenol, I was like, I don't want to take too much, so I finally woke my husband up in the middle of the night and I said, I'm really sorry to do this, but I need to go and get this checked out. I'm miserable right now. And so yeah, my husband and toddler, we were up at like we were up at 3, and I think we finally left the house at like 3:45, and then we finally got to the hospital, which is about a 45-minute drive away. I think about 5, maybe 5:15 or something like that. And yes, I couldn't even have my kid or husband come in with me because yay, COVID. So I was alone during that, and it was not fun. And luckily it ended up being, apparently it wasn't kidney, at least they don't think it was kidney related. They think it was more intramuscular related. And so, it luckily went away 2 days after I came back from the ER, and has since stayed away, thankfully. And then the second ER visit happened like literally 1 week later, and that's why I think the nurses thought I was a hypochondriac, because within like a 1 week span or a week and a half span or something, I had been to the ER twice. So the second time, again, it was in the middle of the night. I couldn't sleep. I was in a lot of pain. This time though, it was all along the right side of my stomach, all the way down into my groin. And I know round ligament pain, right? Because like I've had a first pregnancy, so I know what that's supposed to feel like. So this did not feel like that to me. Normally round ligament pain is like a very sharp, like instant flash of pain that goes away generally within a few seconds. This was painful for over probably 15 hours. It was going on and on all through that day, and then finally that night I couldn't even roll my body over because my whole abdomen was like so sensitive and so sore and ached, and any sort of muscle like clenching, like to roll your body over, you have to clench your muscles, you have to use those muscles, any sort of clench at all in that muscle area was so painful that I couldn't even like move my body without groaning in the middle of the night. It was so painful. And so finally I was like, I cannot stand this. I don't know what's wrong. I consulted Dr. Google again. Nowhere in Dr. Google does it say that round ligament pain lasts longer than a few seconds. Everywhere you read, or everywhere that I read anyway, said that it would, it's normal round ligament pain and it goes away within a few seconds. As soon as you adjust yourself to not feel that pain anymore. So anyway, I went to the ER, same deal, woke my husband up, got my kid in the car, 3 or 4 a.m., something like that. And got to the ER. They did their little baby monitoring, same thing. And I don't know, the midwife barely even examined me, and she was like, so tell me why you're here. And I was, explaining her what I just explained to you, that round ligament pain goes away generally. This does not. It is staying. It is very, very painful whenever I use my muscle. And she was like kind of laughing at me, sort of like, she was nice about it, but I felt kind of like she thought I didn't know what the hell I was talking about, and it really frustrated me because I was scared and I was in pain. And so she was kind of like, yeah, normally round ligament pain only lasts a little while, but it can last longer. So I wouldn't recommend using Dr. Google very much or something like that. She was very kind of laughing at my assumption of things. We all have an idea of what we think is wrong with us when we go to the ER, whether it's right or wrong. It just wasn't appropriate of her to laugh at me about it. So anyway, that was not very pleasant. But pushing that aside, she said that apparently round ligament pain can last longer. It can be because it's like a tendon that's holding your uterus, or supporting your uterus, I guess. If it gets harmed in any way, it can have irritations and sort of like tendonitis or something. And so she says it might be irritated. Also, that from what it sounds like, that I had probably pulled an abdominal muscle as well. And so that was my second ER visit within a week. And so, yeah. Anyway, guys, that was my second trimester in a nutshell. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys will come back again for my future videos. I have a lot planned for you guys. My next one will be about my 26th week, so we're in our third trimester now, my 26th week OB appointment that is coming up, and I will share with you guys. I'm pretty sure I have to do my gestational diabetes test during that appointment or shortly after it, and I will share with you guys those results as well. And so, yeah, I hope you guys subscribe so that you can continue following along my pregnancy journey. I have lots more videos coming. I don't just post about pregnancy stuff. I also post, cooking and just any hobby I happen to be into that day. And I hope that you guys will consider that subscribe button and consider hitting the thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. So on the screen, you will see 2 videos. One of them I'm recommending and one of them YouTube is recommending. I hope you'll consider checking one of them out and supporting my channel further. All right, guys, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.